It's 5 minutes with me.
What is up, friends? Welcome to the long overdue new season of 5 Minutes with Marko. Excited to be back, at least for a couple months of episodes. We'll see. It's a lot of work to do this over time, even at only 5 minutes. So, today we're going to talk a little bit about a metaphor that I came up with some time ago for what particularly leading a middle school small group feels like to me. So time ago, all the small group leaders from my church's youth ministry had an end of the school year thank you dinner and wrap up. And the high school and middle school leaders ate together, and then we split off into separate ministry groupings to debrief the year a little bit. And the main thing we did was share stories. I'm a big fan of this, by the way, as stories communicate all sorts of embodied and embedded truth. Once the ball got rolling, everyone had something to share, and there was a beautiful sense of I am not alone. I was by far the oldest one there. There was a couple other leaders my age, but they weren't at this meeting. I was also one of the only leaders there with more than a few years of experience. But honestly, it had been one of the hardest years of youth ministry for me in a long time. I shared with our team that I really struggled and second guessed myself and wondered what I was doing wrong. I vacillated between completely stoked about my guys and being completely annoyed with them. My group was too big and too impossible to focus and too easily distracted. Yes, more than normal, even for middle school guys, and way too quick to speak on top of each other, which they did almost constantly. As I was about to share with the other leaders that night, a metaphor for my experience of being a youth ministry volunteer that year jumped into my mind. I used to be a golfer. Like, I used to golf about 3 or 4 times a month. I read articles about golfing. I bought golf clubs. I tried out new courses. And yes, I even watched golf on TV and played a whole lot of Tiger Woods golf on my gaming system. But I was never a good golfer. At my best, I was a mediocre golfer. I probably would have had to triple down on the number of times I played in order to see a difference in my game, and I wasn't willing or able to do that. So consistently, my golf game looks like this. Approximately 10 shots in a row would totally suck. I hit the ball too short. I shanked it. I putted past the hole and right off the green. I lost it in the woods or in the lake. I topped it hard and the ball dribbled forward about 10 feet. Occasionally, I even completely whiffed, swinging my club with focus, intention, and expectation, but not actually connecting with the ball. And somewhere between that seventh and 10th bad shot in a row, I fairly consistently had the same sorts of thoughts enter my head or exit my mouth. This game sucks. Why would anyone subject themselves to this? And I'm paying for this. What's wrong with me? This game is impossible, or at least this game is impossible for me. There's absolutely no enjoyment in golf beyond the cigar in my mouth and the beer waiting for me at the clubhouse. But then, deep into my discouragement and disillusionment and fatalism and plans to quit, I had hit a chip shot onto the green and it would drop in the hole. Or I'd somehow hit a fairway wood just right, and by some miracle, it would perfectly curve around that tree in the middle of the fairway and catch the leading edge of a downward slope, adding 50 feet to my shot. And when I hit one of those shots, well, I couldn't stop then. I either had to take another shot to see if I might be on some sort of brilliance streak or had suddenly become a fantastic golfer, or I just took another shot because I didn't care since I was still basking in the joy of what had just occurred. That, my youth ministry friends, is what many years of leading a middle school small group feels like for me, a 44-year veteran of middle school ministry. There are absolutely stunning moments of beauty, flashes of insight, spaces of deep honesty and vulnerability, DMZs of listening to each other, absolute God moments. There are less moments of awesomeness than there are moments of annoyance, but there are just enough to keep me from quitting. Here's the litmus test for me. I stop and think of each guy's face, picturing him in my mind's eye. And if I pay attention to what I'm feeling, I can honestly say that for each one of them, my internal response is, oh man, I love that kid. He is so awesome. I have so much hope for his future. So yeah, I'll keep playing another round. Hey, you might know that the Youth Cartel's main thing, the thing we founded ourselves on is the youth ministry coaching program. It is a year-long leadership development, a whole life leadership development program for youth workers in a cohort approach with 10 youth workers in a group that meets on a learning journey 6 times over the course of a year. And man, we've had 800 people go through it now. And I can't tell you how consistently I see significant transformation in the lives and the ministries of the people who are a part of it. It's such an honor to be a part of it and to walk together with youth workers. We're always trying to fill cohorts. Let me tell you some of the ones we're looking to fill right now. We've got a Western Pennsylvania, like Pittsburgh area one that's getting pretty close to being filled. That one's going to be a hybrid cohort with 3 in-person meetings and 3 online meetings, which makes it more accessible for a lot of people and also a little bit less cost to it. A Sioux Falls, South Dakota cohort. I know that sounds random. There were lots of reasons why we tried to start one there. That one's been lagging, lingering at about half filled for a while, and would really love to see that one move forward. Again, that one is also that hybrid approach, which means it's a little less money and 3 in-person meetings, so you could potentially travel further. We've got one in Springfield, Illinois that's the same. We've got a Raleigh, North Carolina cohort forming that, and one in North Georgia, Atlanta area. We're thinking about reopening a San Diego one and a Denver one. All of those, just kind of let me know. Reach out to me. If you have any questions about this program, I'd love to connect with you. It's just the coolest thing ever. Hope you'll consider joining us.
The Youth Cartel Podcast Network.